Hi, this is Dr. Conley. I want to talk to you briefly about socialization as it relates to gender socialization and some agents of socialization. Once again, understand that socialization is the process by which we learn characteristics of our group, the process that shapes culture. Now, gender socialization is when society sets children off into different courses in life because they are male or female. Then you'll read some of the people and influences and groups that do influence and shape what it means or expected behaviors for being a male and female in this culture. Agents of socialization are people or groups who influence our self-concepts, attitudes, or behaviors. And I like how the textbook breaks down the different agents of socialization and talks about some studies and kind of really how that process of culture is shaped through these particular agents of socialization. The one I want to just briefly speak about was workplace as an agent of socialization, and talk about anticipatory socialization. This is where we learn parts of our future role before we actually enter the role. Think about a time you may have applied for a job, you were hired, and before you started, let's say it was for a cashier. Before you started that job, you probably were very observant of every cashier around you to try to kind of learn what it is or what am I supposed to do when I get in that particular position. That's an example of workplace socialization. Learning about the job before you actually enter it so that you know how to go about playing that role once you get into that job. Okay? Now, last two concepts I want to speak about are resocialization and total institutions. Resocializations. When people move from one place, job, or life situation, we have to undergo a process of resocialization. That is the process of learning new norms, values, attitudes, and behaviors. Think about it. Have you ever started a new school, moved to a different town, started a new job? When you get in these particular, like say a new school, even if you went from middle school to high school, you kind of have the middle school thing down pat, but now all of a sudden you're in high school, you're the new kid on the block, you kind of have to learn how things work in the particular high school. Schools, colleges, I've taught at different colleges. Each college has a different way of doing things, and that resocialization is learning how things are done in the particular place in which you are. The same with other jobs and even neighborhoods and regions. I've lived all over the country, and so I've constantly been in a state of resocialization because people do things differently in different parts of the country. Okay? Lastly, total institutions. Total institutions are where people are cut off from society and totally controlled by the official in charge of that institution. The nice example was on page 79 of boot camp. Now, I know we have some of you who have served in the military and plan to serve in the military, and for that I thank you for your service. I also compliment you for having gone through boot camp because it looks like it's really no joke. Okay, but that's one example of a total institution. Can you think of other examples? Prisons, convents, monasteries, boarding school. What are some other examples? Fraternity and sororities when you're pledging, training camp for professional athletes. Oftentimes their families are left at home and they kind of go away so they can be cut off from society to learn about the particular culture or what's expected for them for the particular sport in which they play, and they're under the control of the management and coaches. Those are examples of total institutions. Alrighty? Well, listen, you have a great week, and I will see you next week. Take care.